influencing pop culture, politics, and everything in between, taking you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside.
Hey there, I'm Scott Johnson. Welcome to Going Ringside. Ricky Saints is back as we got a lot to talk about. Before we do, I just want to ask you, click subscribe on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@goingringside. We continue to need your support. But we just had Ricky on, but I got him back because of what happened Tuesday night on the CW network on NXT when TNA invades. Ricky's going into his title match against Obafemi this weekend, and Ricky just bypasses the melee that's happening all around him and goes straight for the belt. So Ricky's got a lot. He is the man in the company right now, trying to dethrone Obafemi. We'll see if he can. So I wanted to get to it, and let's bring in right now the man in NXT, or he's trying to be the champion of NXT. Here is Ricky Saints. Well, we're joined by the man himself who made some headlines last night, Ricky Saints. Ricky, thank you for joining us again on the show today.
Thank you for having me. This is great. Great to see you again.
Well, we just had you on, but a lot has happened in the last few days since we had you on, and we need to update, so I'm glad we could catch up. I need to start with last night on NXT. A lot happened at the very end there. Walk me through it. TNA invades. You seem to ignore it because your eyes are elsewhere.
Yeah.
Walk me through last night.
I saw the NXT Championship amidst all this chaos between TNA and NXT. And, listen, they were fighting. That had nothing to do with me. I saw an opportunity and I would win for it. And so I'm good at being zoned in. I can do this a lot and lock in on something. And that's what I did. And I went for that title because that's ultimately, I feel like, it's going to be mine. And Oba had other ideas, of course, and, it is what it is. But I'm glad that I was able to walk through the minefield and get to where I wanted to get to, which was the NXT Championship on that podium.
What the minefield, I want to unpack that for a second. The minefield, you guys are there having your show at the PC.
Yeah.
Show, and then we just start seeing in the crowd, and I could swear I saw a few in the background here and there, and then I start seeing them in the crowd, but they don't stay in the crowd. They decide we're going to jump the podium and just fight all of you.
Yeah, so it's not that odd for TNA people to come to the shows and whatnot. We've had that before. It's been a normal, fine thing. I think it got a little bit heated between Trick and Santana, and then once that happened, the floodgates opened, and all of a sudden you had all these people jumping the rails, people coming from the back, all this stuff. And to me, I figured, well, they have that already handled. Who am I to just try to jump in and help them out? Everything was already solved. I need to get my hands on that NXT Championship. And so I saw it. I thought it was a great opportunity, so I went after it. But that is not a usual thing. TNA people don't really come in here and cause a ruckus.
Well, are you bothered? These guys are literally invading your territory right now.
At first I was, but then when I saw everyone rush out from the back, I said, oh, they got it. We're good here.
Yeah.
They'll take care of it. I have that much trust in them.
So I do want to move on to this coming weekend, No Mercy. Oba, Trick, you're dealing with the top guys in both companies, frankly.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this match for you. What does it mean?
Well, last night we had a conclusion that it was a DQ, so Oba is going to be the official person. He kept the NXT Championship, so that is who I will be facing on Saturday. But I'm so prepared mentally for it and physically for it, only because this is the thing that I've been working towards for a very long time. And Oba don't get me wrong, Oba is a great wrestler, like incredible. I've seen him in training, I've seen him live. There's something about Oba that you just have to see for yourself, right? And that's not a slight to me, because obviously I am absolute. So I think this Saturday is going to be a great mashup of two styles. Someone with all this experience and someone who has the brute force and strength and power. And it is going to be a big test for me. Absolutely.
What do you do? Like, Oba's got that power and he's hard to hurt. I mean, do you go for extremities? You know,
It's, honestly, yeah, I got to use the speed. I have to use the speed. I have to figure out how to wear him down. And if that's an old rope a dope style, I guess that's what I'll have to do. It, it, my my technique and my sort of game plan to this is kind of it's not all over the place, but I have to volley back and forth between how I'm going to do this without giving away too much because Oba is watching this for sure, you know,
yeah.
obviously, and I don't want him to have a leg up on me when it comes to this match.
So talk to me about dealing with getting the title. I mean, you're assuming you're going to win. If that happens,
Yeah.
do things change for you?
I d- Listen. Whenever I've been a champion, when I was the North American champion, I didn't let things change too much for me. My schedule got a little bit busier for sure, but it didn't change me. I stayed true to myself with my head on straight, and I don't think that it will be any different with the NXT Championship. Obviously, that is the flag to carry, and there's comes a lot of responsibility with that as well. But I am more than prepared for that, of course. And then media appearances, obviously, I'm good for that too. So
Sure.
uh, I think that may be the only
And I
change.
want to ask you about that. I'm kind of curious as a media guy. Are they getting easier? I mean, when you do your first couple, they're probably a little weird. Do
No
they get
way.
easier as the time goes on?
No way. They're so easy. They're so
Really?
easy. And only because, I am I'm giving forth the genuine version. And I feel like that's the most truest form of a good interaction that you can get. Uh, and on top of that too, like I love media stuff. I love talking to different people and getting different questions and things of that nature because that's just fun to me. I find it to be so fun to engage with people like that.
So, you're New Orleans, right? That's your background?
Yeah,
I saw that big video package of you kind of going home. What does it mean? The hometown seems like it's a big thing and the background is a big thing for you.
yeah. Well, it's important because New Orleans means a lot to me. And if you aren't very if you aren't very proud of where you come from, I don't really expect anyone to understand that, right? And I think that's the case. Like, well, I'm not from New Orleans, so I really don't understand why. And it's like, that's fine. But it's important to me to represent and give New Orleans a platform because that's who I am at the core of it. Like, even beyond the name, this is who I always been. And I thought it was a good chance to really show that and showcase the people and to showcase something that I've never shown before, which is where my house used to be at. And so that was very hard to do, but I think it was important to at least show that. Not to show that so, oh, well, there's a vulnerable side to Ricky. No, show that because this is a true place. This is a real place. This is a real people that have helped and shaped me to be the person I am today.
I want to get your thoughts on some stuff going on. I mean, I literally just got off a call a few minutes ago with Tiffany Stratton talking about Vegas, WrestleMania.
Yes.
NXT will be there. Are you excited for the company to go back to Vegas?
This a few months ago at Mania was great. It was a great time. We were at the T-Mobile Arena, um, and I'm excited to go back. I have some family too that live there, and so it's always nice to go back and visit them. And I think WrestleMania for Vegas this year was, I think everyone had a great time, to be honest with you. And so I think it'll be good to come back and then have another party where people can gather around over a wrestling ring, like a wrestling event. You can't get any better than that.
I had Lola Vice on a few days ago, and I didn't drill down on this, which I should have a little more. Not last night, but I think it was 8 days ago. Triple H shows up on NXT,
Oh, yeah.
kind of faces off with Shawn Michaels. It sounded just listening to his words like he wanted to come in and take over and kind of push Shawn to the side. Your thoughts on that dynamic?
I thought there was going to be a war game that would break out. And so I was trying to, in my head, I was like, all right, who would my teammates be?
Yeah.
Who would be on my side when it came to this war games type thing? But I thought it was a great moment. And I did think it did bring up a lot of ideas, okay, about who would your teammates be when it came to this quote unquote big war games match? Not necessarily him trying to take over, but him trying to say, you bring your best and I'll bring my best.
Do you have a team in mind? Any ideas?
Okay, it sounds crazy. My team would be Oba.
Okay. Even though you're facing him in a few days.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to.
okay.
Listen, I know the strengths and disadvantages of a person. So it'd definitely be Oba. I would get Javon Evans on there.
Okay.
Reluctantly, I would get Ethan on there.
I'm sure reluctantly, yeah.
Yeah, reluctantly. And that would be it. Depending on the number of people needed, those would be like let's jump right in, you know.
And how are you doing physically? Last time we talked, you're doing well. You've got Oba. You probably after that match you won't be feeling as well. But in general, how are you doing physically?
I feel great. A lot of yoga, I'm still working out and doing things of that nature, but every year you have to adapt to how the body is and getting older and stuff like that. So the training changes constantly. And and yeah, like that I feel so good. Like today I did an ice bath. I'm feeling marvelous.
Well, Ricky Saints, it's been a pleasure to see you again. Thanks for catching up with us and good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much. It was great to see you again, Scott.
So we will see what happens with Ricky if he can dethrone Oba. He's obviously got a lot of momentum going in, representing New Orleans, as he says. And he's talking about maybe having a War Games dream roster, dream team with some of his enemies, which is intriguing to see. But thank you for joining us once again. Go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@goingringside. Click that subscribe button. Thanks all for your support. I'm Scott Johnson. We'll see you back here next time.